How you guys doing?
This guy thinks he's a barbarian.
I am a barbarian.
You're like 5 foot something.
I'm 5'10". That's closer to 6.
Boots on.
Touche. You guys are really starting to piss me off. You sure you want me to rage?
John, look at this guy with a bad case of little man syndrome. He probably rode a donkey over here.
Talk shit about my donkey?
Bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. The bodies hit the...
Mom? What's up? I'm with the boys. I did vacuum the house today. Welcome back for another class guide video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a rage-filled, axe-to-the-face class, the Barbarian. Do you find yourself getting the cops called on you every time you get mad? Well then, if so, you're probably in jail, and don't do that anymore. Or maybe you're just really insecure in RL and you want to know what it feels like to be a true man or woman. The Barbarian might be the class for you. We're going to be talking about the Barbarian's class features, what races go well with the Barbarian's rage and abilities, and of course the 2 confirmed primal paths, which will be your subclass choice. One of them is pretty cool and involves spirit animals, so you're going to want to stick around for the entire video. As always, keep in mind that the final version of the Baldur's Gate 3 Barbarian might be modified from what we talk about, but I think it's safe to assume that this video should serve as a solid foundation for understanding this class. If you guys end up enjoying this video, please subscribe, for there will be much more Baldur's Gate 3 content on the way. I've already done videos on the Druid, Rogue, Sorcerer, Paladin, and Bard, so make sure to check those out if you would like. Links to my Twitter and Discord will be below. Let's talk about the Barbarian. Barbarians are defined by their unbridled, unquenchable, and unthinkable rage. Their anger is more than just a mere emotion. It's the ferocity of a cornered predator and the unrelenting assault of a storm. Some barbarians' rage comes from a roiling reservoir of anger at a world full of pain, while others draw their rage from a communion with fierce animal spirits. Their rage is the fuel that powers their battle frenzy, uncanny reflexes, resilience, and feats of strength. While many people take pride in their civilized ways, to a barbarian, civilization is no virtue but a sign of weakness. They thrive in the wilds of their homelands and embrace their animal nature, keen instincts, and primal physicality. In the chaos of combat is where a barbarian comes most alive, and they will happily charge headlong into danger so that their people do not have to. A barbarian's typical role in a party will be as damage dealers and damage takers. They are unbelievably tough and can take a hell of a lot of hits. They are also great athletes that can handle many tasks dealing with athletic type situations, which also makes them great explorers and not a bad choice for scouting out an area, for they can handle most of the unexpected damage that might come out of nowhere, such as from a trap. Before we go over which racial choices go best with your barbarian, let's first quickly go over what ability scores you might want to invest into. I think it goes without saying that strength will be the primary ability score that your barbarian will focus on. Many of the barbarian's class features specifically refer to using strength, so unless you have a really crazy idea in mind, show that strength ability score some love. Doing a dexterity focused barbarian is certainly a possibility, but you'll be missing out on some of the strength focused features. Constitution is also great to have as one of your top scores, for your constitution modifier will be added to your base HP and really make your barbarian super tough, which you kinda need, for you'll be taking a lot of hits in combat. Now, if the idea of being a bare-chested, unarmored barbarian interests you, then you'll still want to focus on strength, but you'll also likely want to make your constitution and dexterity scores decent, because both of those abilities will come into play in determining your unarmored armor class number. Your wisdom, intelligence, and charisma scores are really up to you in deciding if you want to invest into any of these. It's probably a good idea to at least make one of these more mental type ability scores decent to help round yourself out a little bit. For your racial choice, typically the best way to go is by choosing the races that boost your strength the most. The sub-race of the dwarf, the mountain dwarf, is a great choice, for you gain a +2 to constitution for being a dwarf, and also a +2 to strength as a mountain dwarf specifically. 2 very important ability scores for a barbarian. The half-orc is also a great choice, and even though it has not been confirmed to be in Baldur's Gate 3 yet, it's highly likely that it will be. As a half-orc, you gain a +2 to strength as well as a +1 to constitution. Although the Mountain Dwarf gives you +2 to Strength and Constitution, the Half-Orc race offers some great racial features that make you even harder to kill, as well as increasing your critical hit damage. You can't really go wrong with playing as a human, and if the game has the variant human, that can be really great. Dragonborns are also cool barbarians as well. Keep in mind that there are ways to make many races work well with whatever class you choose, so you don't have to play as one of the ones that I mentioned, and we also do not know all the races that will be available in Baldur's Gate 3 as of yet. Now let's go over some of the Barbarian's general class features such as hit points and proficiencies, and then we'll get into the fun stuff. As a Barbarian, you start off with the highest hit die of D12, so this means that you'll start off the game with a base HP of 12, and if you use the roll system when you level up, you will roll one 12-sided die and add that to your current HP. If you use the fixed rate HP system, you will add 7 HP per level. We're not sure yet how Larian Studios is going to go about the HP system, but it seems likely that they'll offer both choices for HP increase per level. Don't forget that your Constitution modifier is also added to your base HP. Your Barbarian's armor proficiencies will be in light armor, medium armor, and shields. For weapons, you're proficient in simple weapons and martial weapons, so that means all weapons. For saving throws, you'll be proficient in Strength and Constitution. Strength saving throws can help with resisting a force that would physically move or bind you, such as a gust of wind. Constitution saving throws can help with diseases, poison, and other hazards that sap your vitality. And lastly, for skills, you'll choose 2 from Animal Handling, Athletics, Intimidation, Nature, Perception, and Survival. Athletics is a common choice here as well as Intimidation, but depending on how you want to play your Barbarian, you might want to go with Nature and Animal Handling. Also keep in mind your background choices will offer some skill proficiencies as well. So that's it for your proficiencies. Now let's take a look at the Barbarian's class chart to see what we gain as we level up, which will eventually lead to your subclass choice. At class level 1, you gain the classic, most famous feature for the Barbarian, Rage. So on your turn in combat, by using a bonus action, you can enter a Rage. Going into Rage will give you the following benefits. Number 1, you'll have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. That means that when the game makes you do one of these checks, it's going to roll 2 d20s for you and take the higher result. This gives you a much better chance of actually succeeding, for the game will throw away the lower roll. Number 2, entering Rage will also give you resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage, which is great to have, especially at lower levels. Having resistance will have the damage coming from any weapon that deals those 3 types of damage. Number 3, when you make a melee weapon attack using Strength, you gain a bonus to the damage roll. This bonus is shown on the Barbarian class chart under the Rage damage column. As you can see from levels 1 to 8, that Rage bonus will be +2, and at level 9 and 10 it will be +3. Max level, at least on launch, will be level 10, so we'll not be talking about anything past level 10 in this video. You will also notice the column to the left of the Rage damage that's titled Rages. This is the column that tells you the amount of Rages that you can do before running out. To regain your uses of Rage, you must complete a long rest, which is going to your camp and sleeping in Baldur's Gate 3. At level 1, you'll be able to use 2 Rages per day, and at level 10, you'll have 4. So this means that you have to be fairly conscious about using your Rages because you have a limited amount. In D&D, your Rage will last for 1 minute and will end early if you're knocked unconscious, or if your turn ends and you haven't attacked a hostile creature since your last turn or taken damage since then. It's basically saying that your Rage will die if you're not being aggressive and dealing damage or getting hit. The duration for the Rage in Baldur's Gate 3 will have to wait to see what Larian Studios does. You also cannot be wearing heavy armor while using Rage. Also at class level 1, you'll gain Unarmored Defense, which we briefly talked about earlier. This feature makes it so that when you're not wearing any armor at all, your armor class number will equal 10 plus your Dexterity modifier and Constitution modifier. So if you invest into those ability scores enough, your Barbarian can have a decent armor class without wearing any armor at all. You're allowed to have a shield and still receive Unarmored Defense. At class level 2, you gain Reckless Attack, which will give you advantage on melee weapon attack rolls using Strength on your first attack on your turn, but attack rolls against you will also have advantage as well until your next turn. Thinking back to Rage, Rage gave you advantage on damage rolls. Reckless Attack has given you advantage on attack rolls. So basically your first attack has a great chance of successfully hitting your target, but your enemies will also have an easier time landing their strikes on you as well. The reason why this can be good is because the Barbarian is tough and can handle taking damage. And if you combine this with your Rage and the enemies are dealing bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage, their damage will be halved. It ends up typically working in your favor. Barbarians have a lot of synergy between their features and abilities, especially if you grab certain feats. There is one more thing that you gain at class level 2, and that is Danger Sense. Danger Sense will give you advantage on dexterity saving throws against effects that you can see, such as traps and spells. You cannot be blinded, deafened, or incapacitated and receive this advantage though. Basically, your Barbarian is really good at sensing when things nearby aren't as they should be, and you get an edge when attempting to dodge away from danger. Finally, we made it to class level 3 where you get to choose your Barbarian's primal path, which is your subclass. The two confirmed subclasses are the path of the Berserker and the path of the Totem Warrior. There might be more, but those are the two that are guaranteed. Let's start off talking about the path of the Totem Warrior, for it's a little bit more interesting. As a Totem Warrior, you accept a spirit animal as your guide, protector, and inspiration. In battle, your totem spirit fills you with supernatural might, adding magical fuel to your Barbarian Rage. Right upon choosing the subclass, you will choose your totem spirit and gain its feature. I'm not sure how Larian Studios will go about this, but in D&D you must make or acquire a physical totem object. It can be an amulet or similar adornment, and it has to incorporate fur or feathers, claws, teeth, or bones of the totem animal. Your character might even adopt some physical features of your totem animal, such as if you choose the bear, you might be unusually hairy, or if you choose the eagle, you might have yellow eagle eyes. So the totem animal spirit choices are the bear, eagle, and wolf. There may be more, but we're not really sure right now. The bear will give you resistance to all damage except psychic damage while you're using Rage. Extremely powerful. You're basically doubling your hit points for almost any encounter while you're raging because you have resistance to all these damage types. I'm guessing that the eagle spirit will be modified a little. While raging, you will give other creatures disadvantage on opportunity attack rolls against you, but it will also allow you to use dash as a bonus action, which it's already been stated that everyone in Baldur's Gate 3 can already use dash as a bonus action, so it'll be interesting to see if Larian adds something more for the eagle. And last but not least, the wolf. The wolf totem, while raging, will give your friends advantage on melee attack rolls against any creature within 5 feet of you. This can really help put down a creature that's in your face if you have melee weapon users in your party as well. Now at class level 6 as a Totem Warrior, you should be able to change your totem spirit animal if you so choose, but you'll also gain Aspect of the Beast. Aspect of the Beast will let you gain a magical benefit associated with your totem spirit. The bear will now double your carrying capacity and you'll gain advantage on strength checks made to push, pull, lift, or break objects. The eagle will give you increased eyesight to help you spot things, even those with fine details. Dim lighting will also now not impose disadvantage on your wisdom checks. And the wolf at level 6 will let you gain hunting sensibilities that let you track other creatures at a fast pace and also let you move more stealthily while moving at a normal pace. At class level 10 as a Totem Warrior, you'll gain Spirit Walker. Not sure if or how this will work in Baldur's Gate 3, but this feature basically has your spirit animal appear in front of you, and it may convey information that you seek. Path of the Berserker. As a Berserker Barbarian, your rage burns in your heart. It's a furnace that drives you towards greatness. Some barbarians view this rage as an internal reservoir where pain, grief, and anger are forged into a fury hard as steel, while others believe it to be an animalistic spiritual blessing. Right upon choosing this subclass, you will gain Frenzy. You use Frenzy when you rage. It's basically an upgrade to your rage. So for the duration of your rage, you can make a single melee weapon attack as a bonus action on each of your turns after this one. So basically you can attack your target with an action point, but now also attack again with a bonus action if you so choose. The one downside is that when your rage ends, you will suffer 1 level of exhaustion. The more you do Frenzy, the more exhausted your Barbarian will become, causing you to suffer from certain penalties. So Frenzy is typically best used as a finisher move where you know the fight will be over soon, and you're really just trying to put that enemy down. At class level 6 as a Berserker, you cannot be charmed or frightened while raging. another upgrade to the Rage. And at max level 10 as a Berserker, you gain Intimidating Presence. Intimidating Presence will let you use your action to frighten someone. If a creature is within 30 feet of you and can see or hear you, it will be frightened unless it succeeds on a Wisdom saving throw. On subsequent turns, you can use your action to extend the duration of this effect on the frightened creature. Frighten will likely give a creature disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while you're in its line of sight, and the creature cannot move closer to you. So those are the 2 confirmed subclasses for the Barbarian. It will definitely be interesting to see how far Larian Studios takes the Totem Warrior. Now let's go over the remaining class features that you'll gain on your journey to level 10. At class level 4, you'll gain an ability score improvement where you get to add 2 ability score points to the ability or abilities of your choice. If you so choose, you can forego this and instead gain a feat. At class level 5, you gain extra attack and fast movement. Extra attack lets you attack twice instead of once whenever you take the attack action on your turn. Great feature to have. And fast movement will increase your movement speed, which will increase the distance you can travel in one turn. Class level 6 we already talked about when we were talking about subclasses. It's where you gain another subclass feature. Class level 7 you gain Feral Instinct. This will give you advantage on initiative rolls. Initiative is a little different in Baldur's Gate 3 compared to D&D, so we'll see how this ends up working out. Class level 8 is another ability score improvement or your choice of feat. Class level 9 you gain Brutal Critical. This will let you roll 1 additional weapon damage die when determining the extra damage for a critical hit with a melee weapon. That's an opportunity to do a ton of damage. Max level 10 you gain another subclass feature, which we already talked about, and that's basically it for the Barbarian. They're a more straightforward type of class, especially if you play the Berserker. Your job is pretty much to destroy things and be the athletic god for your party. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. It's a huge help to my videos. Like I said before, I've already done a bunch of class guides, and I plan on continuing to do all the classes that are available in Baldur's Gate 3. I do all sorts of content on this channel, ranging from comedy videos to live streams to game reviews to game tutorials to product reviews, etc. I would love to see some of you guys on a future video. Until next time.